Unsurprisingly, some of the Tesla haters out there, and there's quite a few of them in the media, have painted Tesla sales in China last month as a big negative. But I think rather than being overly emotional about it, let's actually have a look at the data and decide whether or not it is in fact a big negative or whether that's clickbait trying to get you to, well, read and look at what they're saying. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. Great to have you with us. Tesla sales in the month of June were actually pretty good. They rebounded to 61,484, which was Tesla's second highest number this year. However, that is a decline year on year of 3.75%. Shock horror. Decline of 3.75%. I think it's actually not bad. In the first half of the year, Tesla sold 263,000 vehicles in China, which was a decrease of 5%. Pretty good when you consider the fact that for the first 3 months of the year, Tesla didn't even have its most popular car, the Model Y. Everyone knew the new version was coming out, and therefore most people were waiting for the new version. So I think the numbers have been fairly good. Also, let's be real. Electric said, even after massive discounts from Tesla in China, Tesla's sales have plummeted to shockingly low levels. Blah, 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 blah. Disaster. And this isn't really realistic. In fact, Tesla has discounted their cars, but only by a very small amount in comparison to their rivals. The truth is the Tesla Model Y is actually much more expensive than all of its rivals, all of them. Yeah, that's worth pointing out. Now, yes, the Xiaomi SU7 is, I guess, technically a rival, even though it's a much bigger car than Model Y. Technically, it's a rival to the Model Y, but you can't get one of those right now. You have to wait about a year and a half if you wanted to get one of those. And that's a similar price to the Model Y, but everything else is a fair bit cheaper. Everything else that really does compete with the Model Y is quite a lot cheaper, in fact. So the fact that Tesla is still selling this many cars to me shows the incredible strength of the Tesla brand in China. There's no other way to actually logically look at this situation. Otherwise, why would people be buying these cars? I mean, you're talking about charging speeds, just a 200 kilowatt for the standard range version, yeah, 250 kilowatt for the premium version. That's a bit average. I mean, all of XPeng's new electric cars, except for the budget price Mona, have just under 500 kilowatt charging. Many rivals now have a 600, 700, 800 kilowatt charging. So really the tech in these Model Ys, it's good in terms of the software. It's great. In fact, I think Tesla's EVs efficiencies are phenomenal, but people don't really look at that. They look at the headline figures. What power's it got? How bling does it look? Does it have an ice fridge inside it? How many screens has it got? How fast is the charging speed? Does it have an artificial reality heads-up display? These are the things that buyers are really attracted to. And the fact that Tesla has none of that stuff, it shows you just how strong the brand is to be able to get these kinds of sales still in a market where it's a bloodbath. It's literally a bloodbath. So discounting is just wild and rampant. There's all these kinds of dodgy tactics going on in China. So anyhow, getting to the actual numbers, back to the numbers. The only month this has trailed was March. Tesla had great numbers in March, 74,000 deliveries. That's when they first started delivering the Model Y Juniper. As I said earlier, though, Tesla sold 263,000 vehicles in China, which was a year-on-year decrease of 5%. I think that's not bad. However, Tesla Shanghai plants exports, as you can see from this chart, they've kind of trended more on the downward side over the past 6 months, which does make sense. There's more competition outside of China from all these Chinese brands. And it's also worth pointing out that Tesla do plan to have some new models available soon. I've seen in images of this new Tesla model, what we call it, Tesla Model 2. It's smaller than a Model Y, very clearly. That looks like a new budget version car Tesla bringing out. Plus, there's a 7-seat version of the Model Y coming to market. So that should help Tesla a little bit this year. I don't know about Elon Musk's new political party helping Tesla. It probably won't help them. But anyway, that's something we probably have to factor in at some point. Tesla has a factory in Shanghai. It has a production capacity of 1 million cars. So if the demand is there, it can make 1 million cars per year. So as you can see, these numbers we're seeing are a bit below its potential capacity. But Giga Shanghai technically exported 10,000 vehicles in June, which was actually a 14% decrease from the 11,746 vehicles exported in the same month last year, and a 56% decrease from the 23,000 in May. But it's a kind of a cyclical thing. So it's hard to tell whether or not that's actually a reference to demand or if that's just a reference to Tesla planning to ship more cars the following month or the previous month, etc. I don't actually know on that. But it's worth pointing out, new energy vehicle sales in China in the month of June were 1.11 million. Yeah. That means that actually they're up 29.7% new energy vehicle sales. However, electric car sales grew by 33% in June in China, 33% versus the same month last year. So that means that actually Tesla's market share in China has shrunk fairly significantly because the overall EV market has grown quite a lot. But there's a lot of models, so that's really not a big deal. EV sales actually were 661,000 in China, and that is a staggering number. This year, that's the biggest number so far this year. By the end of the year, good chance we will see 1 million purely electric cars sold in the month of November and December. So this means Tesla's market share, as per cnevpost.com, is actually down by 5.5%, down to 5.5% in the EV market, down from 6.9% in the same period last year. But it's a lot better than May's 3.8%. Anyhow, overall, I actually think these sales numbers from Tesla, for the reasons I mentioned before, are actually not that bad and surprisingly good considering the lack of innovation in these cars. Tesla could have put in these new batteries, which there was a lot of word going on in China that they were going to, but they didn't do it. Tesla just went with, I think, the way they can continue making a profit, which is to keep selling the cheaper batteries, keep those 400-volt architectures, keep the charging the same. They've made some good luxury car features and changes to things like the suspension, the efficiency, etc. But overall, no big headline changes, which is what's enabling Tesla to still make a profit. And remember, Tesla are the only EV company in the world. I think they could be joined by XPeng by the end of this year, but they are currently the only EV company in the world making a profit. I know BYD makes a profit, but obviously more than half of their sales are plug-in hybrids with an engine in them. So anyway, guys, let me know how you feel about this. What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. We've known for a while now that Tesla is bringing out a cheaper version of the Tesla Model Y this year. It will slot underneath the existing standard range Tesla Model Y, which you guys don't actually get in the United States because in America, you guys don't use lithium iron phosphate batteries from BYD or CATL because they're Chinese companies anymore. Now, the cheapest version of the Model 3 and the Model Y comes with basically a Panasonic battery pack. And that means it's now more expensive, a little bit more expensive than what it used to be in the United States. But as in the rest of the world, there will be a cheaper Model Y this year. What will be the differences? Well, we can kind of infer some of the differences based on some reports from the Chinese media.